Yeah, yeah, mami. Now on him. Yeah, yeah, mawo. Da da da. Adofu nyami. Now on him. Yeah, yeah. On him. Yeah, yeah, mami. Missy wonim. Yeah, yeah, my yeah. Radio nim, yeah, yeah. Adofu nyami, onim, 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 yeah, mami, onim, onim, yeah, onimo, onim, yeah, mao, onim, na onim, onu na onim, na onimo, onim, yeah, maya. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Shalom and I film from Ghana about faith, lifestyle, God, family, relationship. I mean everything that makes you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new, you are welcome. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the videos, comment and share. God bless you so much for tuning in and for being here every day. I really appreciate you. Do as well also to recommend Shalom Diaries to your friends and families and loved ones, so that together we'll be a blessing onto our generation. God bless you so much. So today on this vlog, I'm not going to talk about anything like but we want to go off the norm, let me put it that way, because I just want to share some piece of my life with you out there. So just like the name says, I want to share my story with you, and I'm trusting God that at the end of this vlog, it will be a blessing unto you watching, and to serve as a source of inspiration and motivation to you out there who is watching me this day. God bless you so much, and let's start. Okay, so I'm Mary Shalomina, like you all know, and I'm the last born of my family, yeah, and I before we start this vlog, I just want you to know that like there are so many things that happen in our lives, so many things that happen in our going out and in our coming in, and most of these things are things that we do not understand. They are things that we think that like it shouldn't happen to us, and there are things that we didn't even expect to happen, but then one way or the other it happened. And because of that, some people it got strengthened, some people lost their way, some people were devastated. They thought that okay, God is not there, and God has left them to their doom, or God has left them to suffer alone in this world. I want you to know that whatsoever that you are going through, with whatsoever that comes your way in this life, never lose hope, and never never think that the Lord has left you, and never think that He doesn't care. But I want to assure you and reaffirm the fact that God loves you so much, and He cares for you so much, such that I don't know what can, like just like Paul said, what can separate us from the love of God. If our sin couldn't stop Christ from coming to die for us, then definitely nothing can stop Him from loving us so much. So whatever fire you are going through, whatever river or sea that you are going through, I just want you to know that the Lord is there with you every step along the way. He is there with you. So don't be sad. Okay, don't be sad. And even if you don't see God as you ought to, or you want to see Him, it doesn't mean that He's not there. He's right there with you. So let's start. Like I said, I'm the last born of my family, and everything was so perfect. Like we had everything we wanted, and we had everything we needed in life. we had family, we had ourselves, and life was peaceful. Although, like, I wouldn't say that it was extremely beautiful as I would want it, because you know that with human, like, if you have one, you want to get two, and if you have two, you want to go for three. But then on the whole, I mean, if I should just break it down on a normal level, we had everything that we needed to survive in this life. We had ourselves, we had God, we had happiness, and we have everything. But something happened, and not to bore you with long stories, I will just say that from my JHS to my SHS to my university, there was nothing that came easy. Everything that's like, if we should take three people, two out of the three, like, or like anything that someone will get, it's easy. Anything that, if let's say like there are a lot of people going for it, like, it will come easy for them. But I realize that these same things I will do, and it's so difficult. It's like I have to always struggle my way out of things. I always had to, like, more or less like cry. I always had to go to God and pray. I always had to ask God so many questions, like why and all those things, because I realized that with the things like people get it so easily, I will have to struggle and struggle and struggle before I can get it. So I remember after JHS, when the placement came, I did so well, but like the school I got, like I remember I wept until finally I got the school of my choice. And that was the same with my university. My grades were so cool, like, and I remember there was this woman that we went to see, because I wanted to be a nurse. Yeah, I would say that. So we went to see this woman, and like, to help me gain admission into the nursing training college. And this woman looked at my result slip, and was like, wow, you really did well, but the person who I'm going to give this results to, or the person that's like I know at the training college who's supposed to help me help you, like, you know, I have to give something small to the person and all those things. And as at then, the woman was taking about 10,000 no 1,000 Ghana cedis, so that was like 10 million old cedis. And that was then, like, at that time it was a lot of money. Even right now I believe that it's still a lot of money, because you can do a whole lot of things with that money. Okay, so when the woman said that, I think we were two, one other parent or two other parents were with my mother and myself there. And the woman was like, okay, I'll go and bring the money, so the woman should wait. The woman went inside, brought like half of the amount to the woman, and told the woman that, okay, I'll bring the the remaining half next week. And I was just standing there, I was just looking at these people. And I remember I just held my mother's hand, and I grabbed her, and I just pulled her out of that room. I told my mother that, see, I know the God that I am serving. I will not pay one pesewa. And I know that I even told God that, God, something that I should get as a child, something that I should have as a child of God, there is nothing that should make me like have to pay or have to like maneuver my way out before I can have it. No, I'm not paying a pesewa to go to school. So I told my mother, if that's the only way for me to go to school, then I will not go to school. And we came home. So to cut the long story short, I cried a lot, because I stayed in the house for 2 good years. And right after school, then this one will call you, Mary, I've gotten admission to this school. Mary, I'm here. Mary, I'm there. And like, I'll be crying. I'll be asking myself, like, why me? And I remember at that time I had this woman of God in my life, and I called her and I was like, Mommy, like, I'm so tired and I'm so worn out, I don't know what to do, and like, why me? And I kept asking that question, why me, why me, why me? And I remember very well what she told me. She was like, Mary, I was like, Mommy, I say, so if you are asking yourself why you, then if not you, who should it be? I was like, what kind of question is this? Like, God can take these things anywhere he wants, but definitely not in my life. Then she said something. She said that anything that the Lord brings your way, anything that you go through, the Lord knows that you are able to go through it, because He has given you the necessary requirement, the necessary ingredients and materials to overcome. I was like, how? because I'm in pain, like I'm in sorrow, I'm crying, like I was depressed because I wasn't even eating. I could lock myself in my room all day and my mother would be knocking, won't you come out and all. Like I was dying, literally. And you are telling me that the Lord gives me strength to go through all the things that I'm going, like how? So she said that it's not up to me, or I shouldn't be asking that question, why me? But the one thing that I should ask of the Lord is, God, what do you want me to learn from this situation? Although at that point, my mind wasn't that open, so I didn't really understand what she meant by that. But I took it in good faith. And I was like, okay, God, whatever you want to do with my life, just go ahead and do it, because like I'm so tired. Lo and behold, I got admission into university, and that was another problem because I realized that I really didn't like the university because I wanted to be a nurse, and that was all that I had in mind ever since I was growing up. Like I had always pictured myself being a nurse, wearing my uniform, going to work, because I love helping people, like I love giving out love. So like I was like, no, like I really want to be a nurse. So when I got admission, I cried. Although it was an admission, I should be happy, but I was so sad. Although some part of me was like, because at the end of the day, I was going to school and people would be like, okay, Mary also is in school. So like, finally, I went to school. And when I got to school, because I didn't have so much interest in the university, I didn't approach it with a lively spirit. Then as I entered the school, we had to go for orientation, and I remember I couldn't step at the orientation because I was so ill. And I will tell you the reason why I was so ill. Okay, so coming back, the year 2015, before I could get admission to the university, my father died. Yeah, and my father died in May. And my admission came in, I think, August day about, yeah. And we were supposed to go to school in September. So my father died in May 2015. And it was so difficult, like so difficult. I remember I had to go for an interview even during those times. And as I sat there during the interview, I cried, like I was crying. I couldn't hold back my tears because I was so sorrowful. And September, when I held my admission letter in my hand, it was all tears. And I was asking myself, how? Like, how am I going to go to school? Like, who will pay for my fees? Who will cater for my needs? How am I going to survive all this? It was a very difficult moment for me. Like, it was very difficult because being the last one of my father, I really used to disturb him a lot. Like, those who know me know that, like, I really disturb. So I used to disturb him a lot. Like, my father was like, you know, like, just like everyone loves a father. So I was so broken. I was so devastated. I was so lost. I mean, nothing made sense to me at that time, and nothing you could say could just take away the pain and the sorrow that I was feeling that day. And I remember asking my mother, like, Ma, how come? So didn't God listen to my prayers? Didn't God hear all the prayers that I said to him? Didn't God listen? Because I remember I could stand in the park and I will pray throughout the night. It will rain. I will stand in the rain and I will pray, being wet. I didn't care. All that I cared about was the fact that my father should have been well and he should be well. And I will pray my heart out. I will pray till the time that I have no energy in me again. Then I will walk slowly to the house and go and weep and I will sleep. And that was the routine for the whole 2 weeks that my father was in the hospital. I'll come to church and I'll pray to God. And I was asking God, telling God a whole lot of things that God should heal my father because I cannot live without him and all. And when he died, I remember I asked my mother, so didn't God answer my prayers? Didn't God hear my prayers when I was crying out to him? In fact, where was God? Because I went to him and I told him my heart desire and what I wanted from him and what I needed him to do for me. But it looked as if God didn't hear my prayers. And at the end of the day, my father died. My mother looked at me and she was like, Amma, God answers prayers. But then God do not answer according to how we want him to answer. God answers prayers, and most of the times, like, these answers are in two folds. There is the no and there is the yes. So sometimes God's answer is no, but then because we are expecting it to be a yes, we find it so difficult to accept the no. What do I mean? What I mean is that I believe that you out there, you have a lot of issues, you have a lot of things that you have cried to the Lord about countless times, that the Lord should hear you and give it to you. The Lord should hear you and just do it for you. And maybe that's all your heart desire, and that's all that you have been asking for a very long time, but it looks as if the Lord doesn't hear, the Lord doesn't listen, and He's so far from you. But most of the times the Lord answers and He says no. That's why I sang the song that He knows what is best for us. God knows what is best for us. Although at that time it might not be pleasant for us, but He knows what is best for you and I. When my mother said that, I still cried, because to me, I believe that God should have answered my prayers and healed my father. I cried to the extent that you couldn't see my nose from my eye. You couldn't see my eyelids from my eye. Like, I cried and my face was swollen. So fast forward, when I got admission, it was a better experience. And I remember saying that I wouldn't wish this for anyone, not even my enemy, because like, it was so difficult. Maybe it was my first time. Of course, like, it was so heartbreaking. Like, and lo and behold, I thank God so much for the kind of family He gave me. My siblings ahead of me, they didn't say that, okay, our father is no more, so we are leaving you. But they did so well, and they became my father and mother at the same time. And they paid for my fees, level 100. And bought a lot of provisions for me, because they didn't want me to feel like, okay, so my father is no more, so we can't give you what you need. So they gave me a lot, like in excess. I remember that semester I even brought some of the things home, and they gave me a lot of money to go to school. And my sister was already there, so like, it wasn't some like a lonely journey or something. So when I got to school, I couldn't go for my orientation because I was so sick. I had reduced in weight. Like, if you should see me, you would think that something was wrong with me, or I was diagnosed with a terminal sickness, or like I was about to die or so. I went to school, I was so sick, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sit, I couldn't lie, I couldn't bath, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. All that I was doing was vomiting, lying down so weak. And all my roommates plus my sister had to take care of me, bathing, dressing up, and all those things. And I'll be there now, I'll be crying. I remember one instance when they took me to the bathhouse and they were bathing. I was vomiting, I was so weak. And I heard one of the students say that, hey, this level 100, you just came and you are pregnant. Hey, wonders will never end. And they started gossiping and saying a whole lot of things about me. I didn't even have mouth to even respond or retaliate whatever they were doing. I just came back to my room. So one day my sister said, no, I'm not taking you to the hospital, I'm not taking you home. My sister too, it's like me times 10. She's crazy, I mean, in the spirit. So she just took water and she prayed over it, and she took anointing oil and just dipped some drop inside, and she stirred and added Milo. She said, drink. God, like anything that enters my mouth, like as it is entering, it is coming out. And she said, you will drink it. So I drank. I said, I'll vomit. I said, no, you won't vomit. I I said, I want to vomit. I said, no, you are not vomiting. So my sister made it stay in my stomach. Like I struggled, but like I kept it for about 20 minutes. Then she was like, now you can vomit. Then I vomited. It was so yellow, sorry, but it was something else. Like I vomited. After the vomit, then she was like, dress up and go to class. I was like, I'm so weak. How can I go to school like this? I said, go to class, pick a car and go. So I did. I dressed up and I picked up a car and I went. I couldn't even climb the stairs. So I was climbing slowly. So it took me about 1 hour, even upon taking the taxi, to even get to the lecture hall. And when I got there, like it was left, I think 1 hour for the lecture to end or so. I just went to sit at the back and I couldn't see what the lecturer was saying. And as I sat there, all that I could see was the face of my father. Anywhere I turned, everyone I looked like was like my father. And as I sat there, I cried and I cried and I cried, and it continued for about 2 weeks. As I went for lectures, I see my father. As I sleep, I see my father. Like it was a terrible experience, but I got better, and eventually everything was fine. I called my spiritual father and he prayed with me, and he was praying with me at every dawn. He'll wake me up, we will pray. And let me chip this in. That's why it's very important to have these spiritual figures in your life, because in circumstances where you think that you are being overwhelmed by the situation you are in, these are the people who encourage you. These are the people who stand with you. If you do not have one, please ask the Lord to lead you. I did a video on our spiritual fathers and the role they play in our lives. If you have not listened, go and look for it and watch. You'll be able to listen. So Reverend Ben was praying with me, and I got better and better. So I started approaching life from a different perspective and all. But I remember through all this, I was still crying, although like I used to cry myself to sleep every night, because I just couldn't believe the fact that I'm going to live from this day onwards without my father. Like it was a terrible like thought. So I remember one day as I was there, I told God that, God, see, you told me that you'll be with me till the end of time. And I knew that it was my father that should take care of me, right? Right now, my father is no more. But then if my father is no more, and I believe that you didn't hear me to heal him, that was my thought that time, then the Lord should take care of me, because it was the responsibility of my father. And if my father is no more, then it's now the responsibility of God. So I didn't care and I didn't know how, but all that I was believing God was the fact that God should take care of me. And trust me, I say this to the glory of the Lord, that after I paid the fees in level 100, I never paid fees again till my university days, till the very last day I left campus. That even after I left campus the year 2015, I left campus the year 2019, the school was even owing me a huge sum of amount that I had to write letters to claim. I will not bore you with the long videos, but I just want you to know that in everything that you go through, God is right there with you. See, it has been an amazing journey, although it has not been an easy one, but it has made me a better person. Right now, I see life from a different perspective, because I know that my God is able to do all things, and my God is able to take care of me no matter what my need. I have never been in need, and I've never been in want, because the Lord has been my provider. What are you going through? See, this is not the whole story. Of course, I cannot say everything here, but the things that me and my family went through in the hands of the so-called family members is another story to tell. another story to tell. It had not been easy. My heart has been broken over and over again due to this. And I've cried several times. And in this May 2020 marks 5 years of the demise of my father. And I want to encourage you, if I didn't die, if I wasn't broken to the point I couldn't be repaired, if there is still hope, and if I could profess this hope, I want to encourage you that there is hope for you also. There is hope for you. I don't know what you are going through, but I know how it feels to be in pain, and I know how it feels to be in sorrow. I know how it feels when you look at your left, your right, your front, your back, and it looks as if there is no one. It looks as if there is nothing to look up to. I just want to encourage you that God is alive, and there is this song that says that because He lives, we can face tomorrow. My dear viewer, you watching me out there, I want you to be encouraged in the Lord. I want you to be encouraged. I know that the Lord is able to do it. The Lord is able to look after you. The Lord is able to provide. And He said that even the birds of the air, they do not plant, they do not sow, yet the Lord gives them food to eat. Even the lilies of the field, they do not do anything, but see how beautiful they are. How much more you. Today is exactly 5 years my father died, because today is 13th as I'm filming this video. And on this day, I just said, I want to remember this day in happiness. But of course, it cannot be without tears. But today, I just look back and I thank God for the woman He has made me be. For this strong person He has made me be. Today I stand and trust me, all the things that you go through, it's not just for your sake. Of course, God puts you all, I wouldn't say God put, but we go through all these things to better us. God put us through all these things to make us better, not just by someone dying, but anything that you are going through. It is to test your faith. It is to make you stronger and better, and for the best of it all, to make you like an example to others. I cannot count the number of people that I have encouraged with my story. I cannot count the number of people that I've met in my life that have told them that it is well and it shall be better. It doesn't matter what you go through. Just hold on, my dear sister, my dear brother. Just hold on. See, and the sad thing is that no one understands what you are going through. No one understands your pain, but the Lord understands. I couldn't. It was so difficult. It weighed me down. But at the end of it all, it was worth it. Be encouraged and be assured that if the Lord brought you this far, He's not going to leave you nor forsake you. The Lord will not bring you this far to abandon you. He has a purpose for your life, and He will not rest, trust me, until every one of these purposes have been achieved. Keep trusting, keep faithing, and keep holding on. Know that Ekachima utabiarata Nyahui Nina Bakwario Open the sea. I'm a far by a dinner and so better. I'm a for my mirror. Open I'm a brabona ABC basa. Hey, ain't so better. I'm a nyoma. It's never too late for you. I'm so sorry for the tears and all. I just want to encourage you. Never lose hope. Never lose your trust. Never lose your praise. And above all, keep faith in. Keep faith in. See, you don't have to understand it all. You don't have to understand what and why. You don't have to see the bigger picture. Just believe in God. See, I have come to believe that those who put their trust in the Lord will not disgrace. And the Lord knows how to take care of his own. And he'll surely take care of you. Be blessed and be encouraged. Keep loving the Lord and keep faith in that at the end of it all, it will all make sense one day. One day you will look back and you will smile at the storms that you once thought that you will not be able to survive. You will look at it and you say that had it not been the Lord on my side. May the Lord keep you and bless you. And may the Lord deliver you. And may he provide for you. May the Lord be your comforter. And may he be the lifter of your head. May he wipe away every tear. And may he fill your mouth with joy. Joy unfathomable. May the Lord be with you and cause his face to shine upon you. I do want to bring onto your way a video that talks about how I survived it all, what I did. God bless you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and stay blessed. Bye.